Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be renovating this apartment in San Myshuno. I've not renovated an apartment in a long time. In fact, I think I remember exactly the last apartment I renovated, which was a Christmas apartment. And the only reason I did that one is because I had this super last minute idea to do a Christmas build. This was back before I was really dedicated to making videos, and I did a lot of them in only my free time. So yeah, that was a last minute thing. I needed a super small build. And yeah, for some reason since then, I've never really come back to renovating apartments. I've built a couple apartment buildings from scratch, and those have been really fun because definitely one of the downsides of building in these apartments that come with the city living and eco lifestyle pack is that you can't customize the exteriors of the builds or even much of the floor plan. You definitely can add walls on the interior and stuff, but it is definitely a lot more limiting. So yeah, today I decided, since we're doing speed builds again, it might be fun to start doing some more apartments. So today we're building in the land grab apartments. The name is in the top left of the screen, so if you want to download this build, that's where it goes. And if you want to download this build, the other thing that I've done is I've used the tool mod by Twisted Mexi to change out the windows and the front door. So if you go to place down this apartment, those windows will stay, I believe. I did test it and they stayed for me, but you will need to have the tool mod installed so that you can delete the existing doors and windows, or they will still be there and they'll just kind of overlap with the new ones, which is obviously not what you want. It's very easy to delete the existing windows. I know that SimLissy has a tutorial on how to replace the windows, and I believe in the beginning of her tutorial, she does show you how to delete them, so if you need to learn how to do that, then that's right there for you as well. I can even link that in the description down below to make it a bit easier to find. So yeah, the other thing is, unlike a house, you can't just upload the entire thing to the gallery. You have to upload it as rooms, and because I've used platforms, it makes that even more complicated. Because each platform height is considered a different room by the game. So what I've done is I've taken some kind of bird's eye view screenshots of each floor of this apartment, and I've outlined the rooms and numbered them. So on the gallery, all of the rooms will have numbers, and you can kind of look at that as a map to see where you have to place each room. I've done it myself to make sure everything works fine. A couple of the wallpapers seem to have gotten replaced, but that's a super easy fix. Yeah, and the other thing is, for this build there will not be any tray files, just because I don't even know if it's possible to upload tray files as each of these rooms and have them in your game the way that you could from the gallery. So if there is a way to do that, feel free to let me know. But yeah, don't expect tray files for this specific build, but all of it will be on the gallery, and the CC of course will all be linked in the description below for you to download. Yeah, so I guess we can talk a little bit about this build itself. So I really enjoyed making this build. I wanted to go for kind of a more almost moody color scheme, and it kind of ended up being almost mellow and really relaxing, and I really enjoyed it. This apartment is home to a single mom and her two kids, which they are an infant and a toddler, and also their cat. Originally I kind of wanted to give them a dog, and then I was it's weird in the apartments because dogs can't use the elevator. So if you have a dog in The Sims 4 at least, I mean in real life they can't use elevators either, but in The Sims 4 they can open doors, so that never really made sense to me, and it's kind of annoying for gameplay. I find that you have to leash the dog and take them outside yourself. I figured since she already has a toddler and an infant, that's just too much extra responsibility for her to have, so they have a cat instead. So yeah, this build, we've already finished most of the downstairs of this apartment. So it is 2 floors. It has a lofted space upstairs with the bedrooms and everything. We've already done the kitchen, the living room is what we're working on now. We've done the dining room and the downstairs bathroom. So there's 2 full bathrooms in this build. One has a shower, one has a bathtub for the toddler and infant. I kind of imagine the mom probably takes more showers than baths, so the downstairs bathroom is more her kind of place to go and relax a little bit maybe. That couch that I've used in the living room I really like. I think it fits this build perfectly. It's very fun looking and a little bit artsy. It's from My Cup of CC, I believe. And yeah, so this single mom, the reason why this apartment's a little bit artsy is because she is actually an artist and a photographer. So this is like her little art space. There is another office in this build. I kind of imagine, because she has such young kids, she really enjoys having a very clean, mature looking apartment. So for now, she has this as like her space to paint and draw. Even though you can't draw in The Sims, I just imagine like she probably sketches things out as well, which is what that desk is meant for. And maybe as her kids get older, she may have to change this into a playroom, even though that's not something she necessarily would want to do, because she does like things like her way. So now we're upstairs on the second floor working on the loft space. So I really like this room because I did this really cool custom wall, and I feel like it just adds something unique to this space. Now this is just another seating area with a couch. It has another TV, which, you probably don't need two TVs so close together, but it is The Sims and they aren't going to be bothered by, two TVs playing at the same time like you would be in real life. So other things in this house, we have a balcony actually, which is why I decided to build specifically in this apartment. I thought it was kind of fun to still have a little bit of outdoor space. We have a pool out there, a small pool. We have an area for the kids. Like there's some stuff out there. There's a little bit of planter boxes actually as well. So this sim actually is also a green thumb. And just to the left of this room is actually like a little indoor greenhouse kind of situation, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this couch I also really love. It's from Felixander's shop that looks at. I think it's really cool, especially that curved piece. If you notice the screen going a little bit crazy, it's just because the apartment lots are a little bit like weird with the camera bouncing sometimes. So where I put that divider, I originally wanted to put these bookshelves. I thought it looked a bit cooler, but it wouldn't let me place any clutter on it. I think it was just because it was on the half wall on like the edge of the loft. It just, for some reason, the slots were not working at all, so I just kind of scooched it over a little bit to take up this space right here. So yeah, this is the greenhouse. If this wasn't in a pre-built apartment and I could have customized it more, this definitely would have had a glass roof on it. I think that makes a little bit more sense, but I just kind of like the idea of still having this here. It has some big windows in it. I imagine the sim probably pots up, all their plants and maybe keeps them here to kind of, acclimate to being outside slowly over time. Like, she's definitely a green thumb, a good plant mom, as I am striving to be in real life with my own plants, which are actually thriving at the moment, which is super exciting. So yeah, she also has some fiddly figs, which are apparently very, very temperamental plants to own. So yeah, just the fact that she is really good with plants, I thought that was kind of fun to include because yeah, apparently they're very, very picky about their environment and are hard to keep alive sometimes. So now we're working on sort of the nursery. I mean, the toddler's also in here, so I'm not sure that you could call it a nursery still, if there is also a toddler and not just the baby in here. They do share a room. Originally, I was struggling with this room because I don't like building with the tall wall height. I'll be honest, this apartment has a tall wall height, and especially with these like little kid furniture pieces and the beds and stuff, they look like beds for ants basically. It was just very small and weird looking, so I added these platforms. I divided up the room, and I think it looks a lot better this way. It is a little bit tight, but it also gives it that like cozy look that I really enjoy. So yeah, you have your basics, your changing table. You can change the toddler and the infant on there. We have some toys. There's a dollhouse, a toy box. There's the little like play mat for the infant in here as well. There's a swing, which doesn't function as a swing, but I think it's pretty cute. I believe that's from Tiny Travelers by Felixander and Harry. Yeah, this bedroom, I really, really like how it turned out, considering I was struggling at first. I didn't know how I wanted to lay this one out. I also just struggle putting two beds in one room for some reason. Even if it's older kids, it just always looks a bit strange to me, and I don't know how to lay them out. So this way definitely helped a lot. So after this, I believe we move on to the office. So yes, there is an actual office space in this house, or this apartment. I figured, I imagine the mom probably works as a painter as an actual career, but maybe her photography is more a hobby on the side, so she has this office where she can kind of consult with people, that kind of thing. I feel like that makes sense. As you'll have noticed, probably, I do a lot of custom wall pieces, again, because of the tall wall height. It was really, really hard for me to make these rooms not look a little bit weird and to just fill that like space up. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I like medium wall height when you add some platforms. I think that can be fine, but the tall wall height is just a little bit too much for me, I think. But we were stuck with it today, and we made it work, I think. So that's all that matters. So yeah, I believe this desk is also from Felixander. I think it's his Berlin set that it's from. I really like it because it's kind of a high desk, so you actually need to use like a bar stool at it. I just think, again, that helped really fill up a bit of the height in this room. And yeah, otherwise we use his newer set, Chateau, the like big bookshelves, which I've been waiting to come off of early access for a while now because I think they're really pretty. And these books are really cool because they look kind of antique, which I feel like most of the books that I already have as like custom content and that are in the game are more modern looking. So this was definitely a nice change. So yeah, we definitely clutter up a lot of books. The only bad thing about the bookshelf is it takes a little while to clutter it up, but that's okay. So yeah, next we're moving on to the other bathroom. And again, full bathroom. It has a bathtub instead of a shower. I probably could have fit both, but I did do another custom wall shelving kind of situation. I guess it's more like a feature wall is what you could probably call it. Just again, the bathtub so small compared to this wall height. I didn't want to add another platform because there's already so many pieces to this build. I think it would have just been a little bit overkill to add yet another platform. Maybe that would have been the better choice, I don't know. But yeah, we did this little custom feature wall. I believe it uses, I know those pedestals underneath the shelf are from Hey Harry's Spoons collection. I think the shelves might be from Felixander. I think it's his Grove set, and I can't remember what the paneling is from. It might be MCM. I might be wrong about that. It could be Harlux, actually. I think it might be the headboards from Harlux. I think. I'm honestly not sure. I have so much custom content and I get it confused sometimes. I try to keep it straight. As always, it's all going to be linked down below, so don't worry about me being reliable about that. Yeah, one thing I actually noticed when I mentioned earlier that they have a cat is I forgot to put a litter box, so when I playtest this build, I will make sure I add one. I also didn't add any high chairs. Maybe I will do that actually. I know some people still don't like to play with them, even though they're no longer as buggy as they once were. But it is, like, now that we have infants and you can, like, experience feeding them solid food for the first time, I think it's kind of fun to have the high chair option, so maybe I'll add one as well. And, like, yeah, all of my more recent builds are playtested. Back in the day, I didn't used to playtest my builds, so some of them, if you download my older builds, you're probably going to have to mess around to get them to function a bit better. But all of my newer builds, they do function. So there might be some changes compared to what you see in the video and with the final build. So yeah, now we're moving on to the main bedroom. So this is all the mom's room. I imagine this is going to be the one part of this apartment that stays the same forever, or stays her very tidy, like, specific style forever. Yeah, I really like how this build turned out. I try to do some different stuff around the bed. I added this little closet unit kind of situation instead of a dresser, because sometimes I feel like the dressers, like, I have a hard time placing them somewhere that feels a bit like natural, so we decided to go with this closet, which is from Basic, I think. Is it from Basic? The Harry and Felixander set? I'm pretty sure it is. I really like it because I like the doors that go on it, and there's actually ones that are kind of see-through as well, which are pretty cool. We have a yoga mat in here. I added that last minute because I was like, this build does give me that mellow feeling, so why not add a yoga mat? So yeah, here's the kind of the fun thing I did above the bed. I added this like mailbox from Pierre Sim as like a decoration above the bed. I just thought it was kind of interesting, and it kind of matches with the style of the build, even though it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I just thought it was kind of a cool art piece, and again, this build is full of cool art pieces, like statues, all this little, like quirky kind of decorations, a lot of plants, a lot of books, kind of classic decorations for my builds, honestly. Yeah, if that's one thing actually, if you're trying to make a build look really lived in, I find books work really well, even in real life. Just putting some books around, they can be make for really nice, fairly cheap decorations. And I mean, you can read them too, of course. I like to read, so I'm not saying just use books as decorations. So yeah, we're going to be coming to the end of this build here soon. We're just going to work on the balcony, which again, I kind of already talked about. Has like the pool, has some seating, some stuff for the kids outside. Nothing like super crazy. So yeah, I just would like to thank you guys so much for watching this build. I hope you all have a really great week. Once again, everything you need for this build is down in the description below. Make sure you check out my Patreon to support the channel and get tray files for all of the other builds. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.